Dawson Rider Reviews.
Hey YouTube, Dawson Rider here with a review of the Power Rangers Megaforce Ultra Action Pack from Power Rangers Megaforce. Bet you thought it was from Lost Galaxy. Ha, gotcha. Anyway, this is a 6-pack from Toys R Us that includes the 5 regular Ultra Mode Megaforce Rangers and a Vrak figure. These figures were released very strangely because usually you would get the regular figures first and then the metallic figures, but the metallic version of these figures popped up way earlier than these, and they didn't finally appear until this pack with Wrack in it, which just rhymed. And as of this recording, they have just recently started to appear in their individual forms. Very, very close to Super Megaforce toy line, which should be appearing in a few weeks as of this recording. So, we have a very, very strange way of distributing this, because, you know, usually you get regular and then metallic versions, like I just said. So I decided to pick up the Ultra Pack, because I wasn't sure if the other ones were going to show up, and I had a 20% off coupon. But they did start appearing, obviously, like I just said, but it is a bit more cost effective to get it this way in a lot of ways. It's around, for the 5 figures, it was around $37, and I paid like $31 with a 20% off coupon, excuse me. But if you don't have Vrak and you need all 6 of these, it's still more cost effective to get them all this way, unless you're really concerned about the cards. They will come with cards individually if you get them on their own. If you just get this pack, it will only come with this card right here, the red Ultra Megaforce Ranger, which I will show the sounds for, even though you pretty much already know what it's going to say. But then I'll get that one person that says I didn't show it. So yeah, that's the only card you get with this. So unless you really want to get all the cards, then this is a little bit more of a cost-effective way to get it. I kind of stopped caring about some of the cards, and I got most of the ones from the show that I wanted, so I just decided to go ahead. And now I've gone about 2 minutes without even talking really about the figures. So anyway, we'll start things off. Just go over Vrak real quick because I already have reviewed him. He's the same exact figure that I already have. In fact, I might like sell him or something. I don't know. But he is a very good figure. I really enjoy him. I like when we get villain figures. I think he's very nicely done. He's got a lot of nice details on him. You can see some good facial details here, some nice details in the armor. The paint looks really good on it. You know, it's nice and shiny blue. They capture him pretty well. You get these 2 little like cape pieces here, which are off when you get him, and you just have to detach them, and they're a bit posable, so that's fun. But yeah, this is the same exact figure that I've already reviewed earlier. Same articulation, the hinge joint here, all around here. Single elbow joint here. You've got the leg articulation like all of them, but it's really hindered by his like drapes here. You do have the single knee joint here. No swiveling, and then his head does move around 360. But so if you've already seen my Vrak review or any Vrak reviews or have the figure, you know what it's like, and it's a pretty solid figure. So yeah, if you don't have him, then it's a chance to get him in this pack. But so, yeah, let's go ahead and just go over these. I'll start with the girls first, I guess, or the girl on this side first. And I'll just use one girl and one guy for the articulation since they have the same mold. But these certainly aren't very bad figures. I thought the Megaforce figures look good, and they're pretty much just the Megaforce figures with armor. And they look okay, but I have to say the metallic ones look a lot better. I have red over here, which I will be comparing shortly to show you. But the head sculpt is the same as the regular Megaforce figures. We got the chest armor here, which is not a bad sculpt. The metallic one is shinier, which is nice. But still not a bad looking figure if you really want the regular versions. Articulation remains the same. 360 here, can move in and out. It's a little bit hindered by her chest armor, excuse me, chest. Her shoulder pads, which kind of hit her chest armor. Single elbow joint here, got some swiveling. Her, just like, kind of like Vrak, I guess, she has the possible leg motion joints, you know, with the hinge and all that movement that you usually get, but because of her hard skirt piece, she's a little bit hindered. No swiveling at the waist. Her head does move 360. So yeah, I feel like I was talking a little bit fast there. And pink will have the same articulation. The only issue with yellows I have is her arms do feel a little bit loose. Just like all of them. Is she going to stand now? I had trouble standing earlier. She comes with her Ultra Sword here, which is just white primarily, just like the metallic ones. There's little bits of details in there, if you can see it's a little bright, but nothing spectacular to it. And then they all do come with a their blaster weapon, which are all identical. You can see here's reds, they're just identical, little gold pieces here, and they got the pegs there to put it on the side of their belt. We got blue. I guess we'll use him for the articulation dummy for the boys mold. But yeah, pretty much the same deal here. You got the same underlying mold as the standard figures, which looks nice. I think they did a really good job on the helmets here. And then the armor, which looks fine. Like I said, the metallic version looks better. Articulation is, the same. You got the joints here. Once again, it does clash here for a little bit of hindrance. 360 here, swiveling. Your legs get a pretty solid movement. See, this is what the girls could do if they didn't have their skirts. It sounded dirty. Single knee joint here. No swiveling at the waist, and his head does move 360. Ooh, he's a little tight there. That sounded weird. But his head joint is really tight. But his legs are really loose, which is really annoying, because I actually haven't encountered too many of those problems with the Megaforce figure line thus far. And then he does come with the same exact, well, I'll show you real quick, the same exact sword here. And then just to show real quick before I forget it, you can see you can peg the weapons in, which I was going to do later, but I didn't want to do it during the review in case it fell off for some reason. But I think that more so happens with figure arts reviews than this. Alright, now we got Red. I had him keep his sword because his articulation is the exact same as Blue's. Look-wise, pretty much the same deal as the others. Here he is right next to the Metallic Force version, which you can see looks a lot better. Now granted, the metallic coat of paint that it has underneath for like the red color isn't show accurate, but it makes it look a lot cooler. And I feel like the shine of the armor that the Metallic Force gets is a lot cooler and in a way a little more accurate to the show. So I think the Metallic Force ones look a lot better. Definitely all of them have that same nice shine to them. I really did dig the Metallic Force figures. But other than that, he's an okay figure. Like I said with the other ones, he's the same underlying mold as the original Megaforce figures, and he all looks fine and whatnot. But as you could see, well, unless you really like this mold better, at least that I could see when I'm trying to figure out how to say this. As you can see, I think that looks better when you put it next to the Metallic Force 1. Obviously, it shines a lot more. It's not quite as show accurate in terms of the base color, but I think the armor being shiny is a little more accurate. Here we got Black, pretty much same deal as all the others. I'm just kind of generically showing these to you. There's not really a whole lot to go over. No real loose joints problems to speak of with the black and red ones. It was only blues and yellows so far that we've gotten to showing you. But yeah, same articulation as the others. And then real quick here we've got Pink. Same articulation as yellow. You got the hindrance here. She doesn't really have any loose joint problems or anything like that. She's got the tramp stamp on the back here though. But yeah, she looks fine. I always feel weird in these reviews where the figures are so similar and I just kind of pull them up here and spin them around for you and move them around a little bit and talk nonsense. But I guess that's the job. Anyway, but yeah, there's not too much else to go over. You can just kind of get a general look for it. So these certainly aren't terrible figures. I think that the Megaforce 4-inch line is pretty solid figure-wise. These ones had the most QC issues I had to deal with in terms of loose joints, but they're still not bad. If you really only want the regular Megaforce figures because they're the most accurate, or you're a completionist and you want to get all the figures and need to get these in addition to the Metallic Force ones, they're certainly not terrible to have. Like I said, they're all solid figures. Other than the coat of paint, they're pretty much the same figures. Like I said at the beginning of the review, if you're not concerned about the cards and you don't have any of these figures, this is a bit more of a cost-effective way to get it. If you're like me and you have they have 20% off coupons at Toys R Us all the time. Use that on this there for just the $5. You get an extra Vrak, and it's still more cost effective because it was cheaper for me just to get the extra Vrak than to buy these outright. But if you want the cards, they are appearing in stores now. I think this should go up relatively close to when I got them, or saw them rather. So I would just kind of hurry up about it because, as I said, Super Megaforce stuff should start showing up fairly soon. But yeah, that's really about it. There's not too much to go over. If I didn't mention it before, other than my coupon bit, these are Toys R Us exclusive. The set, not the figures themselves. You can find the figures anywhere. I saw the individual ones at Target, but the set is a Toys R Us exclusive. So yeah, they're not bad figures if you want to get them. If I were to give any kind of recommendation of between this and the Metallic Force, I would say go for the Metallic Force if you're not that concerned about the underlying paint being as accurate. I think they're a lot higher quality looking figure, and they come with a lot of cards. You might not be able to complete your collection if that's what you're into, but you get a lot of shiny cards, and these figures look a lot better. But these certainly aren't terrible if you need to get them. So now, before I repeat myself 3 more times, I will go ahead and go. So until next time, it's Dawson Ryder signing out. Make sure you check out RidersRangersRambles.com for token news in the craziest way possible via the podcast. That was a really weird outro. Anyway, next time, Dawson Ryder signing out.